Okay, so conditional statements in Robot C. There's two main types: if and while. These actually function. They have the same basic. They do the same thing, but they act very differently. So if statements, while statements both do what's in the brackets. So do this. If or while the condition is true. So, for an example of this would be if we press the bump switch. This is completely incorrect syntax. I mean, this wouldn't actually make code, but this is just like an example. If your bump switch equals 1, then do this, whatever this is. Or if your null is less than 10, do this. And so what's the difference between an if and a while statement? Well, an if statement does something if the condition is true. And if means once. So if the bump switch is pressed, do this thing and then stop doing it. Only do it one time. But if we're using a while statement, while this is true, continuously and repeatedly do this in between. So a while statement is when you want something to repeatedly happen. So what are some uses for this? Well, you might have seen this in the cat class of while 1 equals 1, and then you put all your code in here. So you would put all your code into what's known as an infinite while loop or continuous while loop, because this will always be true. 1 will always be equal to 1. Simpler way. And so you put all your code in here because you want your code to continuously repeat. So let's say our code, we want it to turn on a modal if we press the bump switch. So if bump switch equals 1, again not correct, start modal. Great. And then there's a third type of conditional statement. Not too important. It's just the else. An else statement just does the checks for the opposite of the if statement. So if bump switch equals 1, start modal. If not or else, stop modal. And so this code's super simple. While 1 equals 1, so continuously do this while something is true. If we press the button, start the modal. And if we do not press the button, stop the modal. And so this uses all three types of conditional statements. While statements are continuous while what's in the parentheses is true. If statements runs one time when what's in the parentheses is true. And the else statement, which is just the opposite of whatever the if statement is. Okay?